Have you been waiting for Zwift to finally deliver proper rowing to their software? Well, you probably don't need to, because it looks like EXR is primed to fill the hole that Zwift don't seem to want to fill themselves. So ever since Concept 2 released the PM5 monitor for their rowing machine, there's been a whole bunch of apps that can now connect to it via Bluetooth. Now these can mostly be put into two categories of those that enhance your training or those that will let you do some kind of games and things, but there's very few that mix the two together, and there's even fewer that are cross-platform that will work on iOS, Android, PC and Mac. However, step forward, EXR have developed a great piece of software that also does the incredible thing of it looks as though it's going to take on the world of Zwift when it comes to rowing. Zwift has been promising us rowing for years now and haven't delivered, and it looks as though it may be dead in the water for the time being. Whereas EXR have stepped forward, and as long as they carry on developing the way they look as though they are and they get more users, this could be what we all end up using. So less talking, more rowing. Let's get into a quick look at EXR. Okay then, so first thing we have to do is connect the PM5 to the computer. Now this isn't done by a cable, so those PM3 and PM4 people, I'm afraid you're not going to get the chance to use this quite yet. It's all done via Bluetooth. So to get the connection going, press the menu button to turn on the monitor, then go to connect. And on screen on EXR you can see that it's ready to try and search for the monitor. So just click search. And then hopefully after a few seconds it will find my PM5. There we go, up at the top. Click on it to select it and then press connect and it will attempt to connect. You're so close, you're only a foot apart. Connect. There we go, we're all done. Cool. And then I get the option to start. Now I'm going to quickly, while I'm in the connect menu, I'm going to connect my heart rate strap, which I've got on right now. Then go to start. This brings me into the home page. You start on your home tab, then you can see my username, John the Rower, and stuff that I've done. Haven't done much on this yet. And then bottom right hand corner is where there's a little cog wheel where you can change some options. The gameplay and audio and video ones they'll help you have a more suitable environment for you depending on the power of your computer. But let's quickly, for the time being, just jump straight into a row. Okay, and I'll talk through it and then we'll look at some other little bits just so I can show you what it looks like, because it looks amazing. Let's pick the Race of the Charles. So you get two options currently. Hopefully they will build on this. You get Boston or the Lake EXR. I'm going to go for Boston and the Race of the Charles. We'll just go on that and then click row to start. Get myself strapped in. Now I'm just doing this as a just row, so my PM5 right now is showing nothing. There's nothing set on there, so I'm just going to start rowing. Lovely sound of rushing water, which may make you need to pee halfway through your row, but okay, and you can see it's just sitting there ready for me to start rowing. So, here we go. And you can see after 2 strokes basically, the guy starts moving on screen, although it recorded from the beginning of the row. Now it's not in time with my stroke, the avatar on screen. So when I row, he's like half a stroke behind me in terms of when his oars go into the water. It's not a killer, but when you look at what the graphics are like, the water's nice and shimmery, you've got a nice environment around you. We're aiming for the first of the bridges, so it's a nice satisfying looking game, and again, it's kind of what you'd expect if Zwift had brought rowing into their world, that this would be kind of almost what it looks like. Then we get a little sprint section coming up. It's quite nice. 50 meters, let's see what happens here. I'm gonna go for the sprint. See what happens. I did a test before, really slowly. It took me 12 seconds, so that was better. And then back down again. And you can see all your metrics. Top of the screen, speed in kilometers an hour, pace as 500 meter split, heart rate showing up, stroke rate. There's no watts on the screen, but maybe an option to change that. This is it really. That's what it looks like. So it looks great, doesn't it? A little rower rowing away, nice river. sound of water. Got a little mini map down at the bottom. Lots of metrics as well. Go to menu. And then you can see a training report. You can see where my sprint happened. It's got a little hump in red where the pace came up and everything. I can change it to cadence, which shows obviously my stroke rate went up at that point. Heart rate as well, which obviously you just see the steady drift upwards as the exertion happens. So that's a nice little graph to show you. And again, you can go to classic report, which will just give you your standard tabled report that you might be more used to. But yeah, it's fantastic. It gives you exactly what you need at the back end of it, so you can actually see how you got on through the row. Now, I'm sure if I went on for the full 10K, it would probably break this down into splits and kind of show me how I got on over every 500 meters or every kilometer. But for the time being, this is perfect. So that's just a quick general look at just doing a just row. So let's look at some of the other things. So I can upload this, I'll do it's private for the time being. I can upload it to either just EXR or to Strava or to the Concept2 log, or all three at the same time, which is pretty handy in case you want to keep your logbook updated. So that's good that it's got the integration that way. So training that you can do is based on an FTP test, which it kind of has two versions of it. In fact, let's click on this. Because really you get the just row option, you get training, which is all about kind of just doing different kind of workouts, and then you get mini games. So I'll quickly kind of take you through these three bits. So the training is based on an FTP test. So what you do is you do a test, it then sets your targets as you go through the training plan. So there's two different ways you can do this. You can either row as hard as you can for 20 minutes and that will give you your FTP, or you can do a ramp test, which basically you start relatively soft and get increasingly faster, and that will then give you your FTP. So two different ways to do it, depending on what you feel like that day. I'm not going to do one for you because frankly we don't have time. So anyway, so if I go back to the start option, you'll see we get just row, training. Underneath training is mini games. Now to the right is competition, and sadly that's not happening yet. They're still in development for that, and that's what's going to unlock EXR. Once they deal with the competition side, where I can row and I can be racing against someone in like New Zealand and America and whatever, that's when EXR is going to explode, okay? For the time being, without that, it's just a really interesting, oh, this is going to be fantastic. But it needs that competition element, okay? That will then, I think if they bring in the competition element, that will then blow RowPro out of the water, which is kind of really your only other option for PC connection that gives you the PM3, PM4 connection stuff. So I think that's kind of my high kind of top level thought of this. But anyway, so if you go to the training thing, again, you select what route you want to row on. So we can, let's stick to the Charles River. And then if you go to the training tab next to it, this then gives you all your different options that you want to, or your different workouts you can be doing. So you've got, let's go aerobic capacity, and then you can see on the right hand side, the graph that shows you start a little bit, you increase intensity, and the size of the block is then how long you row for and things. So it's a nice design, but the intensity is based on that FTP. So you have to do that in order to kind of have this working accurately, because otherwise it's going to tell you to speed up when you don't need to, or that kind of stuff. So whereas a lot of the plans that I do are based on your 2K pace, the average 2K, 500 meters across your 2K. This is all done on FTP, so you kind of need to do their test. But then if you've got this software, then you kind of want to be part of it. If you scroll down, there's loads and loads and loads. Then we get anaerobic workouts. There's loads of different options you can do in here for training. So if you're a little bit stuck and you kind of think of what should I do today, then this is fantastic. And again, it's like that Zwift idea where there's a whole bunch of training plans, training workouts that you can pick in Zwift. And that's kind of what they've done here. So they've really cleverly taken a lot of the what works in Zwift and kind of turned it into this kind of rowing idea instead, and very cleverly kind of attached it to how we row. So it's fantastic. Like I say, I'm not going to do a training thing today. If you're going to get this and take a look through all these different sessions yourself, I may come back and do a more in-depth video one day and go through them, but not today, because I want to show you the mini games. They're much more exciting. I had so much fun playing these earlier on. Sadly, Shark Attack didn't work. Basically, you row, and if you go too slow, the shark comes for you and he tries to eat you. But I think that's probably based on the FTP, and because I haven't done an FTP test on this, it doesn't know how fast I should be going in order for the shark to be chasing me, because I was rowing along going, where's the shark? I was like 10 minutes into it and it still hadn't come for me. So, however, Buoy Blast or Buoy Blast, depending on how you pronounce Buoy or Buoy, that's a lot of fun, okay? So what you're gonna do, and I'll do it once just so you can see it, is you do a slight warm up and then you sprint as fast as you can, and in order to tighten up the elastic band to then launch a buoy boy into the air and see how far you can get it. And I kind of just did this as a test earlier on, thinking, oh, I better do a test so that I can talk about it properly when I'm making the video. I just sat here just playing this. It's fantastic. Okay, so you can see up at the top, it says start rowing to begin. So it sits here, it doesn't like give you a sudden, oh, you're off. So, and you can see exactly what's happening. You can see the buoys already. So if I start rowing, it'll give me like 10 seconds or so to just get the flywheel moving, warmed up nicely into it. I got 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so I'm gonna go as fast as I can to try and get that elastic band. 2, 1. I do hope you weren't looking at my technique there. Now let's see how the buoy boy flies from the air. I think I got 9,500 earlier on today. I'm hoping because I hit 126 splits just then, I'll be well past that. Oh, I've broken 10,000, yes. Woo! There you go, so 11,410, that's my PB, woohoo. And seriously, I could keep you entertained for hours doing that, trying to see how far I can get. So it's a short little sprint that you do, get a little bit of recovery by the time you load it up again, do it. So, but you can see there's my effort there. Gives me, at least it tells me the stroke rate, so you get some, it's not just a bit of fun, you also get a little bit of data at the back end of it. So say I did 10 of them in a row, it'd be interesting to compare the results of them all. It'd also be interesting to compare how my heart rate would kind of increase as I did 10 in a row and all that kind of stuff. 35 calories for that. I doubt it, but anyway. So that's the mini games. So, like, I'm not going to show you the shark one because, like I say, I couldn't get it to work. And we've been through the training one as well, which I mean, if you've ever done a structured training thing like Zwift cycling, where it just takes you through the intensity and duration, then it should be enough. They do a trial version of this so that people can download it and check it out. So like I say, it's on PC, Mac, iOS and Android. So that's the other thing, is that I'm sitting here, I'm not like RowPro is fantastic and is what loads of people use to race, but you're tied into your PC or Mac to use it. It doesn't have a phone option. You can't just go into a gym with your phone, load it up and go and do a race. So things like Erg Race that is coming, that's out there, that you can race on your phone, so you can go into a gym somewhere and race, but it's all just about a race thing. Whereas this, you get the option, like Zwift, it's a much better looking thing than just watching a kind of an icon go from one side of the screen to the other. So really what I'm saying is that EXR is poised to be the thing that people are going to use. If you bear in mind the fact you are going to it's going to hack off a lot of people that are on a PM3 or PM4 that can't use it, then maybe they're going to be missing quite a lot of the market. But I think there's going to be enough people out there with the PM5 that are going to look at this and go, that's amazing what it can do, and we can race, it looks good, we can all race together when they release the racing option, and you can have it on your phone, you can go to a gym, so you don't have to be tied into, oh, I've got to be home for 8 o'clock. You can say I can go to the gym for 8 o'clock. So as long as they carry on developing the way they've been developing this by adding more routes, like so with the Boston routes are new. There's lots of little tweaks they've been doing, but as long as they keep on developing and as long as they put in that eventual competition side of it, then this is going to be a fantastic piece of software. It's definitely, it looks as good as Zwift. It's got a lot of the design elements of Zwift. It's what we would want as a Zwift cyclist, as someone who wants to actually row within that system. That's what I'd want. So right now Zwift rowers are kind of stuck to using Pain Sled or something to then make your rowing, or so your running or cycling man or woman go around the circuits while rowing, and it's a little bit weird. Hopefully EXR is then going to be what we need. Okay, so hopefully you've not kind of gone, he's talking way too fast, but I kind of want to get all of this off my chest once. So this is like a very first look at what they're at. They're on version 1.11 right now, so it is very early doors, and this is October 2021. So what I'm going to do is every time there's a major release and there's something worth updating, I'm going to make another video because it's really, really exciting. I think in terms of live racing for what they offer, I think this is poised to be almost to almost like take over how we do things. I think this is fantastic for what it is, and the same with the erg zone is fantastic for it's like at the top of the tree for connecting, for kind of doing your training plans and for uploading to logbooks and whatever. But you don't really race in erg zones, so this is then maybe what you then start using for racing. All right, so I'm going to make other app videos and things, trying to review things just so you've got an idea of what it's on about. These things develop so fast. I made one about erg data only last week, to then see that they were bringing out erg data version 2.0 soon, so I had to ditch that as well. I'll wait along for that, which is why I'm doing the EXR one today. Okay, so, and I think what I'll do is I'll do erg zone next, so hang around and see when that video pops up. Hopefully the beard will be gone and the hair will be gone by then, because I'm kind of like this, because I'm going to go dressed as Wolverine for Halloween this year, so it gives me a chance to kind of look natural. So anyway, that's why I'm looking a bit fuzzy. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Do check out some of the workouts on this channel if you haven't already. I've got hundreds up there of different workouts that you can do. I've got training plans, and I kind of talk you through technique and about my dinner plans and Dead Mouse and Van Halen and all that kind of stuff to try and keep you entertained and motivated while you get fitter, faster and stronger at the same time. Okay, and I do slow down a little bit when I'm talking, but I do talk most of the time, so yeah. So you might want to just check out my stroke rate pacing videos instead, where I say nothing for 4 hours. It's incredible. Anyway, right, thanks so much for watching this one. Do take care of yourselves, stay safe, be well. Bye-bye.